Hello.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the Biz Talk. Yes, we're live, and our guest co-host for tonight is no other than, oh my God, the Adobo Queen. Welcome to the show, Ate Nancy Reyes Lumen. How are you
Hi,
tonight?
MJ. How are you feeling? How are you keeping cool these days?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I know. It's been a while we have seen each other, right? Yeah.
I
Oh
know.
wow,
Look,
you got your pie.
yes, this is the pamaypay. Oh
Yeah,
my.
that's oh my goodness. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Where viewers, we are live. We are live on Facebook at the
Yeah.
PACC Greater Houston Region Facebook page, and of course Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy Facebook page and YouTube channel. So you're gonna be entertained tonight because oh my goodness, we have a very, very interesting and very, very good guest. But before going to that, if you missed the live show, make sure that you listen to our podcasts and
Mhm.
you can listen, tell them about where to listen to, Tita
We-
Nancy.
Yeah, we will be in Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast. And
Yeah.
of course, people who hear it will be talking about it.
Of course, of course. And before we go to our guest tonight, of course, we would like to talk about our just recently concluded Summer Biz Mix.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I was actually there and it was so much fun. And we had fun with your halo halo, Tita Lume, Tita Nancy. Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
I think when people start experiencing a 90-degree to 100-degree temperature,
Mm-hmm.
that hello hello word comes to mind. So I'm
Right.
happy that everybody had fun with that. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Actually, it was very saleable. Although it was free. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like people were getting like I took home some because there was a
Yeah.
lot of extra and my family enjoyed it. And at the Biz Mix, we actually had a really good attendance. It
Mm,
wasn't that big, but I mean, it was very intimate. And
yes.
we got to connect and chat and really just had fun with all our guests and our new members. So, to all those who came to our summer Biz Mix, thank you so much. It was really fun having you all, right? And I hope you had fun as well. And welcome to the chamber again to all our new members. Anyway, Tita Nancy, who's
Yes.
our guest for tonight? I I bet you know this guy. I know you've known this guy for a while. So I'm just gonna ask you to, I guess, go ahead and introduce him so we
Well,
can
okay.
start our chat.
Thanks, MJ. Our guest is first and foremost, he's a digital guy. So high tech in all these things that me as a senior, I wouldn't understand what he's talking about. But I've seen his work and he's very creative. But more than that, more than being one of the leaders in the digital uh, enterprise, he's also a chef. And I met him last year at the first Adobo Throwdown, which he himself organized, created, curated. He was running all over. He was the announcer. He was the host. He was the guy at the behind the scenes and everything. I couldn't believe what he was doing, but I noticed that Gene had a passion for making this show a success. So here we go, a year after, and it's the second Adobo Throwdown. And I guess from the way it looks, it's really going to continue on. So with that, Gene is really all over the place now promoting this very very good event, which is actually under the umbrella of PICC, I guess, right, MJ?
Mm-hmm. PACC, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So he said all the proceeds will be going to the projects of PACC. But we will hear more about Gene and his journey into from when he started up to the time that he's now organizing this and looking forward to the success of Adobo Throwdown.
Yeah, and we will really hear more about that after we learn about our guests for tonight. So let's welcome our guest, Mr. Gene Carangal. Come on in.
Hi, Jean.
There he is.
Hello.
Good evening po. How are
Good
you
evening.
tonight?
I am doing well. How are you all doing?
Oh, we're great. It's hot here, but we're making it.
Yeah, it's about 102 here. No, it's down to 95. It's a little chilly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we talk about what you've been doing here in the United States, of course, we want to learn about your roots from the Philippines, like where you from and what family and all that. How many siblings? And yeah, just tell us about your family and your roots from our country, Mr.
Okay,
Gene.
sure. Well, actually, first I was born here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And
Oh.
then soon after I was born, we went to the Philippines. I grew up in Laguna, in Los Baños, Laguna,
Mhm.
where UP is, University of the Philippines. So I grew up close to the university. And I
Mhm.
was there until I was about 14. And I went to North Carolina for a year, lived there for a year, and then I finished my high school in Chicago. And
Mhm.
then I've been living here in the States ever since.
Don't forget to mention about your dad, why you were in Laguna. I think many
Yeah.
Filipinos
Yeah,
know
what
that.
made you move
Yeah.
back to the country after being
Yep.
born in the US?
Minnesota. Yeah. So my dad my dad is an agricultural scientist. So
Mhm.
he actually worked on, I don't know if you remember, there was a program in the 70s called Masagana 99. It is
Mhm.
about increasing the production of rice.
Yeah.
So he figured out a way that we could, increase our production. Um, we became we at one point before the program we used to import rice, and then during the program we became an exporter of rice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he had received, I don't know if they still have these awards now, but he received an award for the 10 outstanding young men of the
Mhm.
Philippines for agriculture. So he won that very prestigious award in 1973.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
Now, a mere 6 years later, his only son will fail agriculture in high school. So
But
that's
MJ, no, before anything, maybe Jean, you don't really know it, but the Masagana 99, was it Masagana 99?
yep, Masaga
Yeah,
99.
it's now is being cloned by PBBM into almost the same. So I hope really that the Philippines will again go back to being one of the biggest rice producers in Asia, because we were right,
We
MJ.
were. There was a
yes,
time
and
we
we
were.
were a tiger economy during
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
in the 70s. I was still young because I was born 1971, but I know and I could feel during that time how our economy was one of the best in Asia. And look at us where we're now. It's sad. But yeah, hopefully, this will again come into fruition and we're gonna have this regain the status and being the number one exporter of rice in the Philippines. And
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
is very, very good. Oh my God. So there's it's an honor to meet you then. Yeah.
Thank.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's very
so
humbling, but it's actually my dad. My dad
Yeah.
did
no,
everything.
okay,
I'm
now,
just the
now
tech guy.
now back to you, because I was telling MJ and the audience that you're the techie guy, but
Mhm.
you also wear an apron in the kitchen. So
That is correct.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that so cooking is my passion.
Mhm.
Because I work so much in the tech industry. It monopolizes my day, but
Mhm.
it's not very creative. So I use cooking as my creative outlet.
Mhm.
I try to experiment with new recipes. I try different things that have never been done before. So that is my passion is Filipino food.
Yeah, before we go there though, because it's we're gonna give a little bit of suspense about our topic tonight. We want to learn about you, but like your professional career and your involvement in the community or other organizations, because the cooking part is gonna be the main dish, main
Sure.
dish for
Yeah.
tonight.
I
Yeah.
see
So
what you did there.
yeah. So tell us about your professional career. Not as a cook on the side, but
Okay.
your main job.
Yeah, well, I started out as a computer programmer,
Mhm.
mainframe applications, and I went from programming to from developing to managing. So I was a project manager for a little bit
Mhm.
until I got married. And when I got married, we moved to. I was living in Chicago, so we moved to Texas.
Mhm.
We moved to McAllen, Texas, which is in South Texas, and there wasn't too many opportunities for the tech industry, so I started working with my wife, who was a pediatrician. So we opened up a pediatric clinic. So I was in the medical industry, even though I had no medical knowledge.
Mhm.
So I did that for about 11 years, and then I decided to go back into tech, go back into software development. So I worked for two medical software startups,
Mhm.
one in Austin, and then I moved to another one in San Antonio. And then I decided, being in the startup is exciting, but it's also very can be very scary because there's no stability. So I decided to leave that for a much safer job. And so I work as an IT analyst at the USAA now.
Wow. My husband is a programmer too, a systems analyst with MD
Oh, awesome.
Anderson. Yeah. So, and he works from home. And that's the beauty of being in the information technology industry because you can work from
Yep,
anywhere.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Although we're now, I think our entire company is going through a return to office phase.
Uh-huh.
So in September, we have to go be back in the office 3 days a week.
Oh, so you're kind of like doing a hybrid style.
Yeah, it's hybrid, and the next year it's going to be 4 days a week, which is kind of, I guess, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked at home for the better part of 3 years,
Yep.
and there was nothing wrong. But I guess we all have to go back to work now.
Wow. Yeah, I know the pandemic has just, changed a lot of things.
Yep.
And it's like we couldn't imagine like having to experience such thing in our lifetime, right? So how did you like working? How do you like your job right now?
Well, I like it a lot. USA is just a fantastic company because I don't know
Mhm.
if you know, it's an insurance and financial services company that caters to the military.
Mhm.
Oh.
So our mission is really we serve those who serve,
Mhm.
and our company is very member focused. So I really love that part of we are again serving those who serve. We work working with the military. Military personnel have very very special needs. So
Mhm.
it takes a special person who has purpose to work for a company like USAA because it, it's just it's almost like the focus on on the military personnel and because we work with veterans, we work with people who are active duty. It's just a different level of service,
Mhm.
because we all take everything personally. Like these are our heroes, and we are serving our heroes. So it is actually,
Yeah.
I consider it a great privilege because I never, so I did not serve.
Mhm.
So, which I, looking back, I kind of regret because so I don't have that military experience. I feel that working for USA, I've been kind of making up for it by serving those who serve.
Wow. That's amazing, right, Tita Nancy? Yeah.
Very, very honorable, and they deserve all the honor and the work and the service that you and many others give. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
and there's so many things common between us because you were just mentioning about military and my boys. I have two adult kids and a teenager, and both my boys, my oldest is in the Navy Reserve.
Uh-huh.
No,
And
that's awesome.
yeah, and my second one is active duty Air Force. So
Mm.
we have so much in common. My
Man,
husband is in
that's
IT. Two of my boys are in the military, which you serve as their software developer, right?
yep, yep.
Yeah, so awesome. That's wonderful. Anyway, what about your community involvement, like in the chamber? How did you get to join and know about the chamber it's in the Central Texas region, right?
Yeah, Central Texas region. So that's in San Antonio,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually didn't join until 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to that, I wasn't in any Filipino organization. I did have like a meetup group, like a social group, but I didn't really get to join any Filipino organizations until 2019 when I joined PACC, Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Central Texas region. And there's kind of an interesting story there because I got invited to a PACC CTR event called the TOUghs, 10 Outstanding Filipinos, the Outstanding Filipinos of San Antonio. So I got invited to this. So I had never heard about it before.
Mm-hmm.
So I just signed up, and somebody had heard that I was going to have an Adobo Fest the next day. And this was this is kind of like the precursor of the Adobo Throwdown. So this was just a very small event, and I think the president of PACC and RGV had heard about it, and she asked me, "Hey, why don't you announce it to the rest of the people at the gala?" I just said a few words, and then sure enough, the next day they were there, and one person came up to me and said had a great time. She goes, we should make this part of PACC.
Oh wow! So that
is how I got in. Is because then I
it.
looked them up and I said, you know what? I wanted to expand the Adobo. At the time, it was still called Adobo Fest. Not realizing that is copyrighted, so hopefully don't get in trouble here. There's no cease and desist here. But Eileen's our lawyer, so she'll take care of that. So so that's why I joined, is because like I was more intrigued, and I had no idea about the chamber. And that's the thing, is I got to meet so many people. I mean, these are wonderful people who take a lot of time out of their personal time and money, that they pour into the PACC, into the humanitarian campaigns, and I'm the member. I just am in one organization, the PACC CTR. Everybody else on the board, there are like 2 or 3 other Filipino organizations, so they're way more community focused than I am.
Wow, I know there's a lot of Filipino organizations in the community. But before we talk about the history of Adobo Throwdown, I think I'm going to ask Tita Nancy too, because you're the Adobo Queen. So can we talk more about adobo? Why is it so popular? I know people love adobo. My kids, whenever I cook adobo, I mean, it's just that different, unique, distinct taste that just makes you want to eat it. So tell us about the history of adobo, Tita Nancy, because I know you are the adobo queen. So I want to hear from you too.
Well, in connection with Adobo Throwdown, that's the reason why the word adobo always is a magnet to me. But 20 years ago, I said, what's happening to Filipino cuisine? We're being left behind by Thai food, Indian food, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnam food. And I said, Filipino food, there's so much to discover. And we are already in that direction, that we have the consciousness of being global, sharing adobo to the world. Thank you to the OFWs from the Philippines, and even for the nurses here who would share with their patients, and you like MJ, all the Philams, maybe your son, all these people, the connections that we have because of adobo, because it's a magic word. So anyway, 20 years ago, I decided somebody has to really just put up a face in adobo. And since I have a round face, and the face of my grandmother, of aristocrat, I said maybe it can be a credible face to champion adobo. Just the word, the dish, the taste, the concept, and the way of cooking of Filipinos. So thankfully, it's becoming, it has arrived because NJ and Jean, you know that Nigella, Gordon Ramsay, Bourdain, and Zimmern, Bobby Flay, and okay, maybe I should mention Rachel Ray. She did try to cook adobo, but it's because they cannot not they cannot ignore adobo anymore. They can't put it on the side because
Mhm.
there's it has a stronghold already on the gastronomic world, and we have to really fight for our culinary DNA, which is the profile of adobo is sour, salty, umami, and that's very universal.
Yeah, I know. And then before we go on, we have a couple of comments from Tito Florencio Ginhawa. He said, "Nice to have you, Gene Carangal, in Biz Talk." And of course, Marilyn Rogers. Good evening. You all look great. Thank you so much, Tito Flor and Tito Marilyn. Yeah, thank you. And good evening. You all look great. That's what he said. Anyway, before
And then Tito Flor is enjoying adobo in Manila, right?
I know he's been there a while. We miss him.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, let's show a video about the history of Adobo Throwdown before
All
we
right.
talk about it. Yeah.
The Adobo Throwdown is a foodie's dream.
If you really want to get a feel and a flavor for Filipinos, just the history and the culture of it all and what kind of flavors that we put out there for them, you need to come out here. The best way to experience all the different types of food all at once.
Mark your calendars for August 5th and 6th because the biggest Filipino party of the year is coming.
I think it's going to be a one-of-a-kind event.
They need to go to the festival. All the Filipinos talent in cooking.
Event goers can sample food from different vendors, like traditional pancit or rice noodles. Then there's Filipino barbecue, adobo, which is the national food of the Philippines. And of course, lumpia.
Philippines has over 7,000 islands, and every island has a different way of cooking. This event, you will see how diverse, how traditional, all kinds of culture in the Philippines brought together in one place, and you get to try it.
Guzman's business, Kainop, is competing in the professional division competition, where a select group of chefs are throwing down the best adobo dish they can make. Chef David from Rock and Rolls, Texas, is also ready to show you what he's got.
I'm excited to be invited to the Adobo Throwdown again. Excited to compete against people who were born and raised in the Philippines, and it's a blessing to get to do what we do.
The chefs can't show us yet what adobo dish they're prepping for the competition, but they didn't hesitate to create what you can try at the festival, like Chef Bell of Patriot Grill, a food truck serving Filipino cuisine with a Tex-Mex flair.
Patriot Grill to serve the food with a smile in the face and a joy in the heart. A little bit of heat with a little bit of sweet.
And Pork Belly Tacos with mango salsa are making their throwdown debut. And Chef David from Sorry Sorry Supper Club is also showing up to show out.
I think it'll be up there with Japanese food, Chinese food, Korean food, all the other Asian kinds of foods that are really, really popular. Filipino food will be there soon enough. I hope people come out and make it and have fun, start learning about the cuisine.
So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets now on adobothrowdown.com. Know that your purchase gives to those in need. So who would want to miss something like this? Save the dates.
Oh my goodness. I feel hungry.
Yeah.
That looks so good. Oh my gosh. I regret that I'm gonna miss it. It's the weekend where my daughter is performing here. So anyway, it was so good. So when did the Adobo Throwdown actually start? Like what year?
So it started as Adobo Fest in 2019. It was a very small event. Actually, it was all free. We had 10 competitors signed up. Actually, only 5 showed up. It was all free. We didn't have too many rules. It was downtown San Antonio, and maybe about 50 people total showed up. It was still a good time. People voted for their favorite adobo, and it went like right after that event. I was thinking, you know what, I need to grow this.
Yeah.
And that was the plan. Was 2019. I was like, all right, next year it's going to be big. I'm going to plan it. And that's when I joined PACC, and PACC is like, all right, I need to convince these guys that we're going to come up with the Adobo. At the time, it was still going to be called Adobo Fest.
Yeah.
Then COVID happened.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, we can't have it in 2020. And then we, of course, and then 2021, we couldn't do it. And in April of 2022, I thought that, you know what, maybe this is the year. This is the year we should do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking it up, and then I realized, you know what, Adobo Fest, I can't use that.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot use that name. It's copyrighted. So it's like I was scrambling. I was trying to find, and for some reason, Adobo Throwdown. It's like, hey, nobody has that domain name. Let me go just reserve that, and then, and not thinking that I'm just thinking like, you know what, it's just a name. It's just like the Bobby Flay like Throwdown, so it's Adobo Throwdown. Mm-hmm. But little did I know that was going to have its own identity. It just grew and grew.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one defining moment in the Throwdown. I was looking for family and friends to finance this because this it costs money to put together a show like this.
Yes.
So looking for sponsors, my sister volunteered to sponsor, and I'm like, well, that's great, friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking, but who else am I going to find as a sponsor? I went and I had a meeting with a head of a private equity firm. We met through, we were trying to do a real estate transaction together. And then after like a 30-minute call, we decided, okay, well, we'll just keep in touch. And we started talking about what each other's likes and passions. And I kind of told him about the Throwdown. And then he says, well, just as a courtesy, she goes, well, why don't you just give me a sponsorship packet?
Wow.
So a month later, so nothing happens. A month later, he calls me up and says, hey, Gene, I saw your sponsorship packet, and I see you're very passionate about this project.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the $2,000 Datu sponsorship, but let me do the gold sponsorship for $1,000. So I was like, holy cow. I have no idea who this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a white guy. And then after he agrees and signs all the paperwork, I just realized this guy had never even had Filipino food. And he was the first sponsor. And at that time, I realized, you know what? It's going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
This is legitimate. And that's when, and it's been nonstop ever since.
Wow. Awesome. That's really awesome. So what is the goal of the Adobo Throwdown? Why did you come up of organizing this very famous event now?
Well, the goal was, first and foremost, our mission statement is we want to support Filipino cuisine to just create just a recognizable footprint in San Antonio, in the San Antonio food scene, because we feel that our food is so underrated. We do not get the respect that we need, that we deserve.
Mm-hmm.
All I want is to be up there with the other cuisines. I want Filipino food to be on par with all the other foods, because I think we are just as good. One day, I hope that there's going to be a conversation in a household somewhere that's not Filipino, and they're going to say, "Hey, what do you feel like having? Do you want pancit or pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want Japanese or Filipino?" So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to promote. That is our mission statement, is trying to make Filipino food more mainstream.
It's happening.
Yes,
it is happening.
That's right. With Adobo Queen and Adobo Throwdown, where else are we going but forward, right?
Yep, exactly. But that's the mission statement of why we put the festival together. But the end goal for why we're trying to raise money is that all the proceeds go to charity. Nobody makes money here. I don't make money. I don't pay Nancy. So, and we have a lot of volunteers. So we're powered by volunteers, because 100% of the proceeds go to the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce humanitarian projects. And this year we've selected the Art Relief Mobile Kitchen. It's It's a fantastic charitable organization in the Philippines, and the San Antonio Food Bank that just takes care of all these. We have a lot of people who are food insecure
Mm-hmm.
that need a lot of help here in San Antonio. So we're doing whatever we can to help people. So if you think about it, the synergy,
Mm-hmm.
we are asking people to come to a food festival and have a great time and enjoy fabulous food. So their money that they pay will go to those who are without food.
Wow, that's awesome. But before we talk more about the throwdown, I think we're gonna go on a break. Okay?
All right.
Right. Yeah.
Hello to everyone from Roof Chamber Radio. I'm encouraging all of you to stay here, stay in this chamber. If you want to be inspired, you want to be encouraged, this is where it's at. And we're all going to need this, especially, in this new year that we're in. We don't know what's up for tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week or next month. But I believe that when you gather with people who believe in the power, the faithfulness, and the goodness of the Lord Jesus Christ, there is power in that in itself. So stay here. Stay in the Roof Chamber Radio. Be inspired, be encouraged, and let's all go through life, not on our own, and more than just with each other, but let's speak the faith, let's share the faith, let's live by faith, and let's walk by faith. God bless you all, everyone from Roof Chamber Radio.
That's
Right. Yeah, welcome back. But before we continue our conversation about adobo, I think we're gonna show the video on our summer Biz Mix as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we can promote our events here. Yep. Anyway, it seems like it's coming up. All right. Yeah,
I
that
saw,
was
I saw the food, MJ. Wow.
I know.
Prepared by Tess, so it will really have been a good hit. Yeah.
Yes, we had barbecue, we had pancit, and then of course lumpia. I mean, that's very common. And every time we also have like parties at work, whenever we try to ask people what they want us to bring, they always ask for pancit and lumpia. Yes. Yeah, and of course the halo-halo that you prepared po. So
Yeah.
anyway, po, let's continue talking about the adobo throwdown. Yeah, let's like what day and what are gonna be expected, what are the events other than of course the showdown or the throwdown or the competition. What other activities are gonna be in that 2-day event?
Okay, so the question is actually, what aren't we doing? So we're doing everything. So it's a 2-day event. It's August 6th, August 5th, and August 6th. It's going to be at the Schertz Civic Center. This is Schertz, Texas, just north of San Antonio. On Saturday, doors open at 10. We have an opening ceremony with the mayor of Schertz, and we talk about our humanitarian campaigns. After that, we have local singers. There's a singer named Vanessa there, and we have an acoustic duo. Then we'll have several cooking demos. Then we have band that's coming in, and then we have two amateur competitions on Saturday, and one is the amateur adobo competition. The other one is the ube dessert competition, and then so we have all these amateurs that come in, and they can go and enter their ube entry desserts, and then their amateur adobo dishes, and then we'll have awards at 5 o'clock for those competitions. On the next day, we actually have a Catholic mass at 8:30 before the event. At 10 o'clock, the doors open again. We'll have another ceremony for this one. We're recognizing all the community organizations in Central Texas, and then we're going to do. There's more singers that are coming in. We have a Philippine folk dance group that's also going to perform some traditional Filipino dances. Somebody's going to do a lumpia demo, lumpia cooking demo. And then we have more singers, and then we have more. We have actually these really adorable child singers that are just fantastic. That's at 3 o'clock. But the main event is the Adobo Throwdown, the professional cooking competition. We have 6 wonderful chefs, and they're going to do their best to showcase their version of adobo. And then what they're doing is it's almost like they're painting adobo on the canvas. So they're going to be judged on taste, and then creativity, and then presentation. And after that, we also have 2 more amateur competitions. We have a Filipino barbecue competition and an lumpia making competition.
Wow.
So there's like 5 different competitions, 5 different contests going on. We have all these singers coming in. We have Nancy doing 87 cooking demos, and it's just going to be, and we have the Catholic Mass, just because last year, the biggest complaint was, why did you have it on a Sunday? I have to go to church. So we decided, okay, we will bring church to you. So you can come to church and then have some tapsilog right afterwards.
Oh my God. So it's a full 2-day event.
Yep. It is absolutely action-packed.
I mean, it's like worth it for like $17 for 2 days.
Absolutely.
But MJ, there will also be food trucks, Gene.
Yep. There's a lot of food trucks that are going to be
outside. So it's going to be busy, right, Gene?
Yep. There's going to be a lot of. Yep. So we have several
food dessert competition. Oh my gosh, my husband loves ube.
Yep. So we have all these competitions going on. We have 4 different amateur competitions, 1 professional cooking competition. We have all these food trucks, and not only that, so that people can vote for their favorite. So all the vendors should be offering either the adobo or lumpia, Filipino barbecue, and ube dessert. People get to vote for their favorite, and then in the end, we're gonna award People's Choice Champion for adobo, lumpia, Filipino barbecue, and ube dessert. So there's a lot of things going on.
Okay, so there's actually the People's Choice, and there's also a set of judges.
Yes.
Yep. There are some we haven't announced yet. These are the judges for the professional competition. We call celebrity judges. Nancy was a celebrity judge last year. I'm not sure if she's going to be a judge this year. She hasn't decided yet. But we have a social some
Master Chef.
social media. We have a Master Chef. We have several social media influencers, and then I think Tess Swanson is also going to be a celebrity judge.
But I'm gonna miss it.
And this is hilarious. I just confirmed this, but one of the judges is an actual county judge in San Antonio, Bexar County judge. He's an Asian American, first Asian American judge in Bexar County. So he's actually going to be a judge.
He's a foodie.
He's a foodie, and he's a wonderful person. And I can't wait to see him there.
Oh my God, I'm gonna miss so much. They look so like good.
It's better to see it in person and to taste it in person. You go there, it's just you can't imagine just the wonderful smells of, like
Mhm.
the barbecue and the
Mhm.
and the garlic in the adobo, and that the lumpia, the crackling lumpia, and then that just super, just gorgeous ube desserts. I mean, it's just a foodie's dream.
Mhm.
Let me add to the teasing. If I do make adobo de paella, it will be for free tasting, free sampling for everybody. So
Adobo de paella. Oh my
yeah,
Yep.
gosh. Tita Nancy, can you make it here in Houston too? So
Yep.
yeah. But before I forget, MJ, maybe next year Jean should hear your daughter sing so that she can be one of the guests also.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to
Yeah,
have her.
oh, thank you.
so that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can, we
What?
can be there together. But
Yeah.
Jean, I wanted to just say one of the not a major sponsor, but that would be the Mamacita group, right?
Mhm.
And maybe that's a time for them to just give the story of who Mamacita is. She's a real person. That these are the seasonings,
Mhm.
and we will be talking about her and letting people know more about who she is. It's not just a person that's a picture in the package, but there was a real person who was the real Mamacita. Yeah.
Oh wow, yes. And I heard they're gonna be donating a lot of Mamacita.
Yes.
Yeah. Mamacita
So
spices.
fiery barbecue marinade. That's it. That's one of
Yep.
the things. The people
Whoa.
will people will have access to that.
May I ask po, because obviously you two are experts in cooking adobo. I know it's like a silly question, but what is your secret? Because it's not gonna be a secret anymore if you answer it here.
Jean first. Eugene.
Oh, so my secret is I incorporate at least two or three different types of heat sources, different types of cooking. So I will infuse grilling with braising. I would
Huh?
braising with deep frying. So I make a grilled chicken adobo where I char it on the grill first and then finish it off on the stove.
Uh-huh.
I make a deep fried pork adobo, pork ribs, so which is like you first slow
Ooh,
cook it in the oven,
yeah.
and then you batter it up and deep fry it, and then cook it in an adobo adobo reduction, adobo sauce reduction,
Uh-huh.
and we do the same thing with pork belly. We let the pork belly stew in braise and liquid for about 4 hours. You take it out and deep fry it, so you have crispy pork adobo. So I like doing things like that. That's my thing.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, I can't
so
wait. I
it's not one pot cooking. I use like 14 pots.
Wow, I can't wait to taste it. I mean, just
Well, yeah.
listening to it, I was like, it's mouth watering. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. Oh my goodness. Like, how about you, Tita Nancy?
Well, no, before I say talk about my way, what about you, MJ? We would like to know how you have two sons and a singer daughter. What kind of adobo did they enjoy from you?
Oh mine is so straightforward and simple. It's just a traditional way of doing things. Like you just put the chicken on it and then put all the spices, the garlic and the leaves, and then you just simmer it until my kids like it a little bit dry, not
Yeah,
too watery. Because I've seen other adobos there. It's almost like a soup, right?
yeah,
But we try to make it dry, like the oil from the chicken, will just fry itself. Yeah,
so
and
there, you
yeah,
see, you,
and then
you
it's like to the bones. It's like you eat it and you just like the bone is just falling. So I mean, that they love it. We cook it maybe probably not every month, but when they miss it and you cook it, they just eat like they grew up here, but they love when and we like to mix the chicken with the pork, the pork rib
yes,
and all
yes,
that. It's really good. But
yes,
my husband has a different way too. Like he And that's right. We do a different stages as well. So whatever leftovers we have, sometimes we put it in the grill or we broil it or we deep fry it, and it just tastes so good.
Yep.
You see, MJ and Jean. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, my adobo is really just ordinary," but look at the way MJ was talking about her adobo from the time she started the ingredients up to the time the cooking, and also it involves the family. It involves you in how you're doing. So maybe MJ, we can ask the audience. Maybe they have comments about their own adobo or questions,
Yes.
and shout outs to who my lola, your auntie, your uncle who cooked that. But for me, I what I do is I just teach a very simple basic adobo, and then I jump to the complicated ones, because
Mhm.
like your adobo is already there in the middle part where
Mhm.
you said cook it long, and that's the secret. You cook it long until sometimes it's dry with just the thickened sauces, and that's how many Filipinos like it. And I'm glad your children were born here, right?
No, my boys were born in the Philippines, but they were so young when we got here. They were
Oh,
like
okay.
2 and 3 years old. So they
Yeah,
pretty much like, yeah, grew up here. Only
yeah,
my daughter was born here, but they love adobo. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I wanted to ask Jean. When you were young and you were in Laguna, most of the dishes there were cooked also with coconut cream, right? So
Mhm.
there's also adobo using coconut cream, adobo sa gata. Did you
Ah,
ever
There
experience
is, but I never really cared for that, so I never asked
really?
for it. So we never had that in the house. Our adobo, and the thing is, like, I didn't have like really great memories of chicken adobo. I liked the pork adobo, but for some reason, I never people would never get the chicken adobo right. It was always dry, but
Ah,
the pork was always good. That's
oh.
why I had to make it a mission to like I think I think some people overcook the chicken,
Mhm.
so then that becomes dry. But I
Yeah.
like
I
when I
like
growing up,
using,
I like the pork adobo.
yeah, I like using the wingettes, you know?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. Anyway, before we, oh my God, I'm getting hungry for real. But before we proceed, or we talk more about it, then I think we're gonna go for another break, and we'll be
Okay.
back.
All
okay.
right.
All right.
Hello, my name is Annabelle. I'm a member of PACC Texas Greater Houston Region. Please watch the Biz Talk every second and fourth Thursday of the month. Tara na, mag-TBT na tayo! Mabuhay!
Yes,
Uh,
welcome back. Oh my, I feel like tonight is not in, I mean, our time is not enough just talking about adobo, because it's not just about the taste, but I think it's the connection with the dish.
Yes,
yep, yep,
Yes,
exactly. Yes, you
yes,
got it.
yeah. I think adobo is a 3 hour conversation.
yes.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I just feel like we don't have enough time talking about it, because when you talk about adobo, I mean, like just hearing about it, it just reminds you of home. Like we've,
Exactly.
and it's just reminds you of how close knit the Filipinos are. You know how we are very connected to each other and all that. So, Tito, Kuya Jean, I don't know if I'm gonna call you Tito or Kuya, but
No, don't. Kuya is good, not Tito.
yeah, yeah, we. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and invite our viewers for the Adobo Throwdown? I mean,
Yep,
I
absolutely.
feel so excited. I'm like,
Okay. So, yes, we would love to have you. Please come down to San Antonio. And the best thing to do is go sign up for tickets now. Go to www.adobothrowdown.com. You'll see a big buy ticket sign there. And then when you click on the buy ticket sign, you have to enter a coupon code. TBT is the coupon discount code. Now will give you 20% off. So it's $10, a $10 ticket for one day, and then but it's $17 for both days. So it's just a fantastic deal.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd
it is. I
love to
mean,
see you down there.
I know, where do you find a deal like that? Oh my God, for
Yep.
$17 for a 2-day event and packed with entertainment and a double showdown or throwdown. I mean, there's nothing else in this world that you could find a ticket price like that for a very, very good event. And any words of wisdom or inspiration or just anything that you want to say to all our viewers? Yeah, and what that can inspire them and just encourage them and just make them feel like they want to eat adobo every day.
Well, I would say that adobo is something that's going to be, it's very personal. There's not one right way to do it. So feel free to go out there and then come up with your own version, your own interpretation of adobo, because everything is different. It's all a personal choice.
Yep.
So let's use our personal, our personality to inspire our creativity, and then show people the adobo that is part of you. You owe that to not just to yourself, but to everybody else. Everybody needs to come up with their own version and share it with the world.
Wow. Wow, that is awesome. Well, thank you so much again for being our guest tonight. And I feel like I want to cook adobo tomorrow.
Whoa.
There you go. Yep.
Whoa.
Go, go, go.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's so good. And we've been so inspired, not just by your, story about growing up in the US or being born in the US and went back to the Philippines and then came back to the US, and your involvement in the community with the chamber in San Antonio. And now you are the one spearheading this Adobo Throwdown. That's not only giving people the opportunity to show off their skills in cooking adobo, but entertaining all the attendees. So thank you so much for your hard work.
Sure, but I just didn't want to correct. It's not my show.
Okay.
It is actually the work. I'm just a promoter. But this is the work of many, many people. This is a community effort. So there's an army of volunteers. The entire PACC CTR is working hard on this. So I just want to reiterate, this is a PACC CTR event.
All right. Yeah.
Maybe you can share that it's the whole family can enjoy themselves, not just the foodies, but everybody, and you can spend the whole day there.
Right. And by the way, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot this. Kids under 12, of course, get in free.
Okay. Free admission for kids under 12. Okay. So again, for good luck to PACC Central Texas region for the Adobo Throwdown. We wish a very, very successful event. And August 5 and August 6. Don't forget, buy your tickets and go online to get the discount code. All right? Because if you buy your ticket at the door, it's going to be more expensive.
Yes, $12 at the door.
Yeah, so take advantage of this opportunity to get a discount and satisfy not just your eyes and your ears, but more so your
tummy.
Right?
Don't forget. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice t-shirt. Yeah, so thank you again. Thank you, Po.
Thank you, Ms. MJ. Thank you, Gene.
Thank you very much.
Hope to meet
Bye,
you
everyone.
in person.
Yep. No, we'll see you.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. That was so nice, Po. Yeah.
Yeah, you bring your daughter next year. You should hear her. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be the same time as the Fiesta Co, or there's not going to be a conflict in her activities. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I like your story. I like your story. Those are the stories we like.
Opo, I know. It's very cool, and it's very rewarding to be able to, connect with people like you. And of course, Kuya Gene. But before we end our show, of course, we want to promote the activities of PACC Greater Houston Region. We have an upcoming speaker series on August 17. And our speaker will be no other than one of our board members, Mr. June Higilon. So please save the date, August 17 from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Courtyard by Marriott in Stafford, Texas. Come on and join us. It's one of the benefits of being a member of our chamber. And there's going to be free food You know, there's not a Filipino event where there's no free food, right? Right, po?
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, another event that we have coming up, Tita Nancy, why don't you
Yeah.
tell them about our gala or awards night?
Mhm. Yes. And it's always been a very elegant and very rewarding night.
Yes. And we're going to be, of course, we have awardees during that night. It's our time of the year where we can dress up a little bit and
Yeah.
gonna be at, oh my goodness, Mario Marquis. Wow, it's a very, very nice high-end hotel. So
Mhm.
come on and join us. $100 per ticket, and you're gonna enjoy really good food. And we're gonna have some dancing and singing. We have some entertainers during the night. We're gonna award a lot of our members or other even non-members. We're gonna have some awardees because we
Mhm.
want to really connect with the community and just be out there, you know, to know that there's a Philippine American Chamber of Commerce here in
Yes.
the Greater Houston region. So come join us November 4th from 6 p.m. until midnight because we're going to have so much fun that we're not even going to notice about the time, right, Po?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tita Nancy, thank you po so much.
Thank you also for having me and giving me the chance to talk about adobo.
Yes, thank you for your time. Thank you for being our co host for tonight. And of course, for all our viewers, again, join us every second and fourth Thursday of the month for the Biz Talk.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and good night. See you next
Be
time.
cool.
Take care, po. Take
Don't
care.
forget